Hey there, welcome back to Debo Bricks. Apologies for the day of a delay in the stream. I got my shot. And the timing on that, well, I don't have a car right now. Not a big fan of riding the bus at this moment, so I walked to my location. And I had to readjust the timing on that. And I was like, man, I better give myself a little bit of extra time. Sylvie, hello there. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, we're going to be talking about cars today. But normally I do these on Monday. Today I'm doing it on Tuesday. Not just for the alliteration in the in it being a tune-up Tuesday, but oh, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, I saw I got another one. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yeah, I got my shot, first shot of two, and very exciting. A little bit sore in the arm today, but other than that, no big hang-ups. So yeah, we're going to be talking about cars, making your own cars. I love Lego cars. I do. I don't personally have my own car. As I say, I had to walk to my vaccination location yesterday. But that's probably why I'm so into cars, is that I don't have one. I'm like a 44-year-old dude without a car. How does that happen? Well, there are stories and stuff, but we won't go into that. But what we will do is look at a couple cars. Hey Tim, what's going on? Yes, they're opening it up very soon to a broad spectrum of people. I think they said April 5th. Everybody 16 and up is getting it. So yeah, got it at Meyer, and I got it literally feet from the Lego section at the back of the store. So like, it's like serendipity, right? And you don't look too deeply into these things. But sometimes the universe just kind of gels at the right moment, you know? And so I'm winding, hey, Brickanista's here. Yes. And we have something from Brickanista that we got in the mail today. So we'll be taking a look at that soon. But yeah, never being one to question fate or why things happen. Winding my way through the toy section to get my shot. Of course, you're going by the end caps where they put all this stuff that's on clearance and reduced price. And on occasion, Lego pops out there. And I check the toy aisle very frequently. But this just popped out there. So I'm going through and I'm making the final turn to, go and, get stuck and whatnot. And I look over to my right and they've got two different Lego sets on clearance. One was like the city set that came out last year. It's like a truck with a helicopter that, propeller, it lifts it. Yeah, whatever. But the other set was the Disney Frozen 2 Enchanted Treehouse, right? And they had it marked down. I think they initially had it marked down from like 50 because it was like, it said regular price $40.99. Because sometimes they'll do that. They'll drop that. That's the same price that they had the Mandalorian ATST at. But this, and I'm looking, right, because there's no tag on here. What price could it be? And for once, they actually put like a little sticker underneath there on the shelf. $8.19. $8.19. Yeah, 19 cents. That's awesome. And there's a whole lot of the flame yellow or bright orange leaf bits here. There's a lot of the reddish brown, and is that Anna? I've never seen Frozen or Frozen 2. Now I'm pretty much gonna have to, because this is like the second Frozen set I bought. But like, she looks like a serious villain or something right there, right? Or like I don't know, just something with the eyes. But hey, so cool, so cool. Yes, it was a steal. It was a steal. I love it when things like that happen. Also, you may or may not be familiar with little Creator Polybag Train, the blue, white, blue, and red one. But they got like 50 of those back there hanging on little pegs. And something tells me that they're going to drop the price on those. Hopefully they drop it way down and I'll just like snag a lot and then do something cool with the parts. Hopefully. We'll see. Yes, a total steal. But yeah, today, so we're going to be talking about cars, and I'm going to just give you a quick preview on that, and then we're going to get to mail time. So yeah, your basic Lego car. Now let's take a look at one that they put out not too long ago here. And this was actually a promo set. It's a classic vintage ride with the surfboards on the side to make that styling. The only problem is the connection points on these are just like lousy. But I mean, it looks cool. It looks good on the shelf. I did some modification there to make it more like the original submission to Lego Ideas with the binoculars under there for a little bit more grill work. But yeah, so your basic Lego car is going to be about 4 to 6 studs wide, and this one's a 6 stud. And the way they did the doors on this, they were able to get 2 figures in there. Now, if you have a 6 stud wide vehicle, generally you're only going to be able to get 1 figure in. Yes, the surfboards are just awesome on that. But with this, they used panels on the side there, so they gave them like a lot of room cut in, so you can get 2 folks sitting there side by side. Now, let's see. One of my earliest MOCs that still survives, and actually it's been rebuilt many a times. I rebuilt it again early last year. Is the Cadillac from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and this one you can see it's 8 studs wide there, and that makes it easy to. So you have like a 6 stud compartment inside there, so you can get 2 figures side by side and get all kinds of crazy stuff going on. But yeah, in this, no, the doors don't open is just really a suggestion of that. And then, yeah, usually back in the day when I first started making this, I like to use like actual Lego doors that open to make a car, but I was able to get past that. However, I did make a trunk. And because this is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, there's some stuff in the trunk. I hope it doesn't fall out as I show you here. We got a couple suitcases, a typewriter, a knife, firearm, and a tape recorder. I won't go into what's in the bags. I can tell you what's in the bags, but I won't tell you what's in the bags. Anyway, if you are 18 and older, please watch Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. It's a trip. It's a trip. All right. So another thing that I like to do is take pre-existing cars that Lego has and tweak them, right? Because a lot of them look pretty cool, but they're, they could just be a little bit more, or maybe you got like some part that's going to augment that. Yes, I did make that that Cadillac over there. This one I did make as well, but it's more of carrying a lot of parts over from the hidden side buggy that came with the Shrimp Shack. So that's where that compartment comes from. Inside there, which is like a ready-made cockpit for a car, and it's actually 5 wide, but it's kind of offset, so it sits centered, so you got that extra little bit peeking out, so it makes room, as you can see there, for 2 figures to sit side by side. And then I just I pretty much tore the whole thing down and rebuilt it. But yeah, put pipes on there. I've had these pipes forever. It was like the first bulk Lego lot I bought off somebody. And it was a lot of little crappy small sets. And most of that stuff has been used in other things, but these pipes like keep persisting. There. And then that grill actually is from like a micro scale, or like not a micro scale, but smaller than minifig scale vehicle that they issued a while back. And I cribbed it for that because it looks like a kind of a hot rod grill, right? And then I took some liberties with the taillights, as you can see. And I even made the suggestion underneath for the transaxle that's driving the rear wheels. So yeah, Lego also, I'll talk about the engine here. They also make a couple of very specific or semi-specific engine parts. And one of those is this right here. And there are a couple more. And we'll probably end up seeing those today. But you can use those as engines. I've seen people use them as pieces of mech. I've seen people use them in kitchens. I've seen, you can use anything for anything as long as your imagination can make that leap and then it translates. Or even if it doesn't translate, why not just make it anyway? If you're a fan of Lego Speed Champions, You know that recently they went from a 6 module wide. Sometimes I'll say module in place of studs if I'm talking about like length and width versus height. Height is not module. That's a different measurement altogether. But yeah, so they put out the Speed Champions Nismo GTR. The GTR is a fantastic automobile. It's a little bit on the heavy side, but just because of all the technology that goes into it. I mean, 4-wheel drive, computer controlled everything. People who drive this, who are race car drivers, generally say that it feels like the car is doing all the work for you. I'm all right with that. I really am. But what I did with this, with the Speed Champions one here, is I did a color swap and pretty much a sticker elimination. So when you get this set, it came with black and white parts and the stickers on there because it's all kinds of wavy lines and stuff. And it was a good idea, but it was way too busy and you couldn't even read the curves of the vehicle, right? So I simplified, went to the white, just straight up. And that way you can see the curves and the undulations and the bodywork. And this is still an official Nismo livery, I guess is what you call it. So yeah, you had the really busy one, and then you have like this plain Jane white one, which honestly I think is a lot more striking. But the Nismo, and that stands for Nissan Motorsports. It's their racing division, right? It has that red line running around it, and that's preserved from the original model, and it accents it so well and sets it off, and it's so cool. But this is an 8-wide vehicle. Oh, don't worry, Sylvia. If you destroy a Lego car, the great thing, it can always be rebuilt again. Or I mean, these are still on the shelves, $20. It's not too bad. I've actually my Meyer store has the Ferrari one on sale for $16, which has kind of got me thinking because I want to really get it. Yes, the GTR is great, right? But makes me want to get it because I think there's potential in that set to make other Ferraris. There's probably a 288 GTO in there. There's probably well, I just won't go into that. There's probably a few, but we're going to take a look at the cockpit here because when they went 8 wide, of course, what they use here for the doors are just 2x4 tiles, and they even got a little seat backing there as well. And yeah, so it's a roomy cockpit. Generally, the builds on these, though, they don't give any thought to what's going on behind the drivers. It's all just like a conglomeration of bricks, so not going to be very comfortable. You're not going to be able to scoot your seat back or anything like that. So hopefully you're going to be a standardized size when you get in there. But yeah, so this was just very light modification. This is very, very much the original thing, but with like a color swap. But that's what they're doing. They've widened the cars so you can get more figures in there. But something that has done also, it's necessitated for most folks to make wider roads. And in the city behind me here, you can maybe get up to 10 studs wide, but the vehicles are going to have to crawl past each other to to not take out like side view mirrors and stuff. But that's roads. That's a whole nother thing. And with the new modular road plates that you can get, you can make your roads any size as long as like 8x16 or 16x16 will pretty much work for you. And then you can go multiples of that. Let's take a look at another couple rides here. This one, another 6-stud standard wide. I call this the Ravishing Rally Racer. I don't know, fan of alliteration, right? But this is one I did last year. Actually, at the same time that that one was entered, that blue one that we saw earlier was entered for the Lego Ideas gift with purchase set competition. I was working on this. I was still missing a couple pieces for what I wanted to do. And as you can see, it's not as great as that. So it wouldn't have gotten anywhere close to being chosen. But I thought it'd be great to have, a nice sports car that's a roadster that's, maybe a little bit more bright in the colors. And I've got Meg Ryan there driving it because, I mean, she's not busy these days. She's out and about and doing things and living life. And having fun for all it's worth. But yeah, in rally racers generally have like a series of lights on the front because rallies go sometimes late into the night, and sometimes there are 24-hour rallies. Sometimes there are rallies that take days that go across various terrain and whatnot. But for the front there, you see I use those like leopard print dots, and I thought that was great. Oh no! And I'm missing a headlight. I blame Nora. I blame Nora. She probably stepped on it at some point. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the curves were something that came in there early. I had that. What was it? We got medium lavender and magenta on there. And honestly, when I made this, and I actually made another vehicle. I'm doing air quotes. I never do air quotes. I apologize for that. But I had all my bright pinkish and purplish colors all kind of set aside because I didn't have too many at that point. And then I was just like, all right, I got enough here to make a couple vehicles. Let's make a couple vehicles. So I made this. And the other thing I made. So over here in Wayne Manor, because that's the only place that has a lawn, it's a pink lawnmower. And yeah, so between these two MOCs, that's like the culmination of pink and purplish and stuff that I had at that time. Well, you got a little hint of a grass catcher there at the back, and then that overflow area there where the blades would be, not really on the bottom. That's a much older car base there. It was used, I think, for like a go-kart. Yeah, yeah. They got a pink lawnmower, and it's always over there too because I mean, there's no other lawn. So I would like to get a shed, but that's going to take up too much space at Wayne Manor. Who knows? Maybe it'll expand soon. We'll see. But yeah, so I really enjoyed putting that together. I thought it was awesome. Maybe overkill for a lawnmower, right? But I thought it was pretty nice. Okay, so that's oh, one more, and then we're gonna get to mail time. If you are, yes, it is similar to what the McDonald's Lego car bases were. Actually, there were one or two of those that I wanted to get. But the McDonald's Lego base cars generally had like 8 studs in the center, and then a whole lot of flat area, almost like tiles. So they allowed you to play around with it a little bit, but I mean, whatever you built on top of it wasn't going to be too horribly secure. McDonald's Happy Meal toys from when I was a kid were like the basic sets, right? You just got like 20 yellow bricks, a clear 2x2 translope, and then like a propeller. And they're like, hey, make a helicopter, make a giraffe, make a camel, make a box of cookies or something. Who knows? But yeah, so this is a Fabuland car base. There you see that I did some jazz to. And this was formerly in the Fab Max submission that Tricky Lug did. But yeah, this kind of got like an old 1930s early race car vibe to it, and I just kind of dug it. And yeah, just room in the cockpit there for one. Yes, I need to see the Snyder cut, Tim. I actually enjoyed the director's cut for Batman v Superman a lot, but I never saw the original, so I really had nothing to compare it to. But it does have a great Gatsby look. It does have a little bit of a great Gatsby feel to it. But yeah, this one is just like I tore down my Fab Max stuff except for the Chima vehicle that I got, which I'll probably show you in a second because we're talking about cars today, right? Why not bust them all out? I do apologize. I do have a piece of hard candy in my mouth. So hopefully I won't be started like drooling out the side here. But that's why you tune in, right? Because all the crazy that can go on. And I just love these bars, these plates with bars on the side. So I use them on the side there to kind of indicate maybe it's an exhaust system that's going out in the back and the side. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Where is it at? Okay, so we'll take a look at the Chima vehicle. It's much sturdier than it was in the beginning of the process of making this car. And then the base on this, there are actually two of them double stacked because, you know, Fab Max Fury Road was based on Mad Max Fury Road. And one of my favorite vehicles in that was like the main bad guy boss's car was like a double stacked Cadillacs, right? I was like, oh, that's so cool. How can I do that with Chima for this Fabuland thing? So I got two 4+ chassis, and they don't have the greatest connection points on the bottom. They really don't. So I had to fudge it a little bit. And of course, the pins that they naturally come with are friction free. So everything had to be locked in a funky certain way. And you see a whole lot of those red hoods or roofs there, using the construction with it. So it looks like pretty much two ladybugs, right, stacked on top of each other, with a very aggressive motor going on there, and the Chima crew. And this has been modified since the original. Yeah, thank you about the flags. Once I got it up to a certain point, I'm like, what am I going to do with it? Because I tried to do different things to make it look like feathers, because it's, you know, it's the Phoenix's car, so it's got a beak. And why would something with a beak have teeth, right? Let's just say for now that we've made the leap that sure, something like that can happen. And then we'll just go back to talking about the flag. So this is essentially going to be the tail, right? And these are the wings. And this is a very stable version of this early on. Like, you could look at this funny and these flags would just like fall off because they were mounted in a very different way. But this is a lot more stable than the original. And I love this car so much that I continued the storyline from my Fab Max build in my own mind, where the Chima won and the Fab Max crew, the Fabuland crew, just got decimated. But yeah, so this one, it holds a very special place in my heart. Plus, it got what was it? Runner-up for Best in Show. Well, we all did. The Fab Max got runner-up for Best in Show from BrickCon last year. And BrickCon, still my favorite I've only been to 2, but it's still my favorite Lego convention. And yeah, just to be consistent with with Lego things at the time, there's a frog on the steering wheel. Yellow frog on the steering wheel. I felt like I needed to. And if you're a person who is so inclined, you can also turn dinosaurs and such into vehicles, because I mean, people have been riding animals for a while now, long before the automobile. And this is just another way to get around. If the need strikes you and you happen to know a T-Rex that you can tame and saddle up, why not? But one of my favorite themes, and this is very weird, it's one of my favorite themes for the vehicles and the builds that were involved in it. And this was many years ago that this line came out. I think it was, I'm not even going to speculate. Oh, it looks like I'm buffering there on the thing. I hope I'm not buffering for y'all. I see that I'm buffering on my PS4. But we have Speed Racer, and yes, Finn is in the riding shotgun there. But yeah, so the Speed Racer line was one of my all-time favorites, because it came with 2 packs of cars. So you got it was the Togokan car and the Mach 5, and then you got Racer X and the Snake Oiler, I think. Or you might have to strike that and reverse it. I'm not sure. But these cars were like the very early 8-wide vehicles, like that were standard race cars that looked like something you could get on the road. And I preserved them. I've kept them up because I like the movie Speed Racer. Yes, I said it. Not too many people do. But I will own it because I liked it a lot. But yeah, this is a little bit of Lego history here. And And this is the first time I think that they really tried to make a good vehicle, right? Here's the Mach 5. And yeah, they've been racing through my town ever since they came on the scene, going down the strip and whatnot. Might be a little bit dusty. But yeah, there's the Mach 5, and that's the shaping that they did on those. And that's where Lego created a couple unique elements. One are these wheel hubs. That's where those first showed up. Hey, Spot the Magic Ninja. Sadly, there's no monkey hiding in the trunk. Actually, let me double check that, because maybe I did put a monkey in the trunk at one point. No, there is no monkey in the trunk. Thanks for asking, though. I'm glad I checked. They didn't really make a trunk space, but I do remember thinking at one point, I'm gonna have to redo the interior of this so I can make an opening trunk, so I can get Chim Chim in there. But along with these hubs that you got here, you've also got this curved windshield piece, which you're seeing a lot more in different sets. It was even in the Trolls set in the dark turquoise color that I love so much. But yeah, that was something that they brought in there, and ever since I've loved them. Early on, I tried to, because the curved windshield was almost ideal to try and make a Lancia Stratos. Not sure if you know what that car is, but it's one of my favorites from childhood, right? It's a very squirrely car, it turns out, because it's rear engine, mid engine technically, but squirrely is all get out, because the way the weight is balanced on the thing. But it was a popular race car. It was a popular rally car, and yeah, so I did one of my early trying to make a real car box with that curved windshield. It almost worked. I won't go too much more into that. But I'm going to get these out of the way real quick. We're going to take a look at something that came in the mail. And yeah, they're all going down the middle of the street over here. So let's see what I got in the mail. And it is from the Brickanista Broadcast Network, direct from Seattle, addressed to me, R2 Debo. And if you don't watch Brickanista streams, the people who pop in there are we're all getting like a Star Wars centric name right now. So she's Brick Rainista. I'm R2 Debo, which now that I think about it, it could also have gone CP Debo. That would have worked as well. But there's also C3 It's Dopio, and that's Mustache Sally, who's very cool peeps. What's going on in here? Wait a minute. Little card. Yes, the mail arrived. And this just showed up maybe 40 minutes before the stream today. It's a happy birthday. Thank you. It's a bear. It's a polar bear. And I'm a very bear-esque person. Let's see. Congratulations and happy birthday. I thought since this was built on my stream on your birthday that you may want it as a gift. I also included a sig fig as well. I really appreciate your support. May the clutch be with you. Thanks, Brickanista. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you, Brickanista, so much. That's so cool. A little polar bear card. And a little special box included here, which is going definitely to be used for Lego storage. And we have a Brickanista sig fig, ready to sail the high seas. So she is going to be the newest crew member on Bia's Folly there. She's got a little coral fish set. That's so cool. Thank you. There's more in here too. We got snakes and stars. There's a starfish and a little clam. Snakes. And then what's this? This is a wrapped bit here. No way! I know what this is. It's a panda, y'all. It's a little panda face. Oh, cool! Because my birthday is the National Panda Day. So, and you know, the whole bear theme kind of carries over with me. So yeah, that's so awesome. Thank you, freaking Easta. Oh, that's so cool. And I don't have those eyes, those ones you were calling speedometer eyes. I don't have any of those. I'm gonna have to figure out what sets those came in and get some of that. So you see how the eyes there, if you turn them upside down, almost looks, yeah, like a speedometer. That is so freaking sweet. Thank you. Oh my goodness. We got a new crew member. I'm gonna have to update the ship's manifest, because that's around here somewhere. And yeah, there's a ship's manifest, because everybody on that ship has their own story. The cook's name is Montgomery Monty Gums Mincer. Let's just say he doesn't have everything up here that he was born with. That's hence the name Gums. But yes, I love it so much. Thank you. I get to show it off, and Tika, so I'm like, look at my panda, and she's like, oh, I want that panda. Well, we can share the panda. All right, so, are we gonna try and build a car? Let's try and build a car. Yeah, ship's manifest. It just once the crew got to around 9 on that ship, the stories, you know, they're just tough to keep hold of. And plus, I started mocking a lot of figures for it, so it's going to help over time when I do find that. No, I know where the manifest is, to have that, so I can remember the whole story behind these characters, because it got a little wild. I'll say that. And actually, right now is a good time to show you. I may have shown you before what is underneath this table, because this is my build table. Right, it is my rolly table. It has storage for most of my bricks, except for ones that I have in pick-a-brick cups over here that I have isolated, because I just I got them individualized by color there, so that I've got an entire thing of lime, I've got an entire thing of dark red, medium azure. I got an entire flower cup, which is mostly dark pink. Reddish brown for trying to make a Nautilus someday, which someday, hopefully. And medium lavender, because medium lavender is so cool. All right, so down here below the table, there, and you see that is all the storage for most of my active bricks and clips and parts. And so when I do my build, I just pretty much shuffle those and bring them up. And if I have a little side table, I'll stack them, and it helps the process go a lot quicker. A lot of builders you'll see have the Acro Mills little slidey table or slidey drawer things that go up on a wall. My personal experience in life, those aren't as stable as I need them to be. Because I used to work with those when I was in shoe repair. Yes, I was a cobbler for. I say this, it was like 6 years I fixed shoes. That's where we kept our threads and our little doodads and attachments and whatnot. And sliding those things in and out, stuff would always end up spilling out of those drawers. And so for my life, I've always kind of had, I don't say a hate against them, but they're not my preference. So I like enclosed little boxes, like tackle boxes, plano boxes, right? Or flambeau, if that's your sort of deal. So yeah, this one is plates and little window bits that haven't been used. And with my city behind me, most of the stuff I get in, I try and use so that I don't take up too much space in storage. But that's kind of gone the wayside a little bit. Mostly because I'm like behind on 3 or 4 buildings in here, updating them, and that's going to clean out a lot of space for me. But I got a bit for Technic whatnot in here, up brackets, down brackets, strike that, reverse it. I've got snot bits all in here, different various modified bricks. Like I've got smaller Technic bricks here, and 4 and 2 wide, or 4 and 2 long, sorry. Technic with axle hole through it, grilled bricks that are also in with Palisades bricks, and hinges. Yeah, there's a whole lot going on in here. So this is like the main business box. Like whenever something's going on, this box is always tapped into. And so that's why it's usually on the top, because that's one of the last things I use. And when I sort, it's one of the ones that frequently I have to go back to because I find another plate. I'm like, oh, there's another 1x2. Might as well go in there. I don't have to open these to show you. I can actually hold it up to the camera because they lock into place. In this one, we've got click hinges, clips, or not click hinges, gems, modified tiles, some modified 1x1 rounds, and some other things there. This is Technic Bits A, which are mostly like smaller brackets and things, you know, macaroni tubes, Technic plates. Voodoo ball population is in here, the available voodoo ball population. This is Technic Bin B, and this is your axles. Make sure I get to the microphone here so you can hear me. And this is your axles, your gears, your pins, modified pins. In here, this one is very frequently tapped into because if you're having a problem, if you need to span a gap that you don't think you can, you know, fit into system, clip and bar is the way to go. So this is my clip and bar collection. We got modified bricks with clip, also top clips, side clips, back clips, front clips. You want a clip, the clip is in here. You need a bar coming off the side, this is where you go. You want just a regular bar, 2, 3, or 2. Yeah, they don't make it too long bar. 3, 4 long bars, and longer ones up here, the antenna ones. Yeah, good stuff. And let's see. And this one is slopes, inverted slopes, regular slopes, 45-degree slopes, curved slopes, round bricks. And this one you're not going to be able to see through too well because this is actually one of the flambeau ones, and those are a little bit more opaque. Kind of give you an idea of the ones that I've got in here. And yes, there's the flag compartment is in there as well. And at the beginning, when I started getting these to sort Lego, I just had the 2 large ones. And then over time, I found that Plano are smaller, a little bit more stable for the dividers in between, because nothing is worse than having a divider come out from between when you got like 1x1 tiles. And then you got things mixed up, and then you got to sort those things, or you just learn to let go, whichever way that works, right? And then this is newer. This is like all this round stuff used to be in here, but this is all my round 2x2 and larger. Also my arches and whatnot. But we're the next one that's after this is what we're really going to be using today, because that's where the business is. And this one is different auto parts. We're going to have this one out too. Auto parts, I got little, the fiber optic brick is in there. Longer bits, propellers. But this one was like the 3rd storage case I got. And this one, generally, historically, has been wheel storage, turntables, engine parts, large engine parts for like space builds and things, railroad trussels, train trussels, train trucks, whatever, you know, whatever the words are. Those are the ones that apply. Perhaps I should hydrate already, right? So I'll reach for my coral water. All right. So we're going to try and make a car real quick. Hey, what's going on, Jason? Fabuland MKE is here. And just a quick shout out and thank you to everybody who participated in the Rebrick This for the Creator 3-in-1. It was a fun time. It was a fun time. The next set I wanted to have to show on here today, it's the Cyber Drone set 31111. Fantastic little build, $10. We're going to be, what is it, April 18th, I believe. We're going to be taking a look at those, doing another Sunday session where we look at everybody's builds for the last month. And we're expanding it to a whole month now to give folks more time and get stuff in there. But yeah, this was a fun one. My last build from this was a spaceship because, excuse me, I just been binging the heck out of the Guardians movies because I'm going to be basing my next Marvel build, my next big Marvel custom, on a character that appeared in the films. I'm not going to give away too much right now. I'll just say that. But so I watch it over and over again, especially Guardians 2. And of course, the more you watch those, the more the music gets stuck in your head. So I've had some crazy super hits of the 70s popping around upstairs lately. And if I start singing like Silver or Brandy, you know, something like that, or yeah, let's hope I don't. Let's hope I don't run out of things to talk about here. My singing never got me anywhere, except for throwing out of a couple places. I'm kidding. All right, so we'll keep this one up. Move this down here. We're gonna need this too. We're probably gonna need all of these for making a car. And so what is the first thing you need to make a car? Well, you need a base for that car. Okay, so you need essentially a frame. We're gonna try and intersperse auto talk with Lego talk here. So you need a frame for the car. And frame chassis is essentially the basic building block for your vehicle, right? That's where your wheels attach. That's where your engine is mounted. That's where your body panels, or not your body panels, but the basic body frame, and then you attach the body panels. But yeah, we're gonna get there and we're gonna go there. But that's where you need to start. And I do have some, like you saw with the lawnmower, that red frame that was underneath there. I do have some of these. Now these are 4 wide, but of course they're a good place to start jumping off to make a 6 wide vehicle, or even an 8 wide vehicle if that's your aim here. But you can see how they have that recessed area there in the center. That's so your figure can sit a little bit lower in the vehicle. And at the front here, you see that's only 2 wide, and that's so like you could get a smaller tire on there. So let's see that real quick. Let's see how that let's see how that looks. What tires to use? If you've been collecting Lego as long as I have, your tires are going to be way up there in number count, because you're not going to be able to make that many vehicles or have that many vehicles unless you break a lot of stuff down. So that just a really basic, not appropriate for this frame wheel set are these. All right, these are a little bit smaller. Okay, but they come out a little bit more because of that that axle piece that's on there. And you know, wheels will come in various shapes and sizes. Something like that, something like this, which we saw here, various thickness, various size. And generally for minifigures, they go all the way up to something like that, which will be like for your monster truck or your, you know, like your big vehicle. And these are huge. And this is also kind of like the standard starting point. Like if you're seeing like a larger creator expert vehicle that's like this big, right? That's way out of scale for a minifigure. Yeah, the classic 4 wides are good times. And the great thing about the classic 4 wides, as far as vehicles go, is they all came with opening doors, because that opening door, the area that's kind of created in there, allows for minifigure arms, right? And I'm drawing a blank on exactly at this moment where my doors are, but I'll come across them and show them to you at some point here, or I'll find something in one of these builds. Oh, matter of fact, here, this is one from the tuning garage that came out not too long ago. Yeah, limiting your cars to specific widths. I've got everything from 4 wide to 12 wide for a couple vehicles. The 12 wides, of course, are down in the underneath the city. But you can see here on this is one that came with a tuning garage from a year or two ago. This vehicle actually designed by Justin Ramsden. You can see snuck his initials in there on the license plate. But yeah, so you see those essentially are a round brick with a panel on it, and it goes 3 along that panel with that round brick, and then allows you to open a vehicle door. And so when you're building a 4 wide vehicle like this is, almost dropped it. You see it allows for the arms to have some place to rest, because your minifigure's got to be comfortable in the ride. If it's not, just take a bus. But yeah, and then here you can see another couple of the engine pieces too. You can see he used that sloped grill as well, and he's got the blower attachment there on top. But yeah, so this is just an example of another hot rod you can do. This is actually an official Lego set, and I didn't really tweak it too much because I like hot rods and I'm working on a garage. But who knows? Someday that one might fall because I'm not 100% like, oh, that's so great. But yeah, Justin's designed some pretty sweet stuff in this time. I just can't believe I don't know where I got those doors at. They used to be here in the slopes, but you know, that's a rabbit hole. I'll go down at another point. Actually, I just found the doors right now because this is like an auxiliary auto box. Yeah, here you go. Here you see you got your round brick there. So I've even seen people use this bit as like a scroll that's being, you know, drawn out. You know, somebody's reading something like that. I've seen these for roof treatments and other things. One of the great bits about this is you can see there the handle that comes on this. And it's got that little notch that allows you to get your fingernail behind there and then open it. So these are reliable. These are great. Solid stud connection on top there. And this is an old door. But yeah, so that was the genesis early in the days of basic vehicles. I've got wheel hubs and fenders in here too, which is something that hasn't always been a Lego thing. We've also got seats, steering wheels. I've got tank tread in here, and of course the ever-present propellers. I'm gonna figure out. I swear I'm gonna figure out something to do with all these propellers. I've got to. So for our ride here today, we're gonna bring out 2 seats. I don't think we're going to end up using the actual doors. So I'm just going to kind of put the rest of this away. It'll just make it more stable when I stack more things down. I'm just going to check the windshields real quick to make sure that I don't bypass something that would be pretty productive here. Yeah, the doors for one side and not the other. It's funny you mentioned that because I've got a purple one in here that fits that bill as well. And this is actually a two brick tall door. And this one, of course, came with the night bus, which only has the door on the one side. So I've got a purple door that I really don't know what I'm going to do with. And looking through here, I can't find other actual car windshields. Mostly it's like a lot of curved windshields that are like for Star Wars, space vehicles and whatnot, airplanes, helicopters. That stuff's going to be in there. All right, so pile this stuff back in here. We're just going to use the two red seats. We might even only use one, but grabbing 2 just in case. All right, so that's going to go back down there. Not going to need any red bricks. I'm not probably going to need any of the other stuff down there. There's a couple more containers down here. Yeah, believe it or not, I've got more containers down there. That's mostly flames and animal parts and things of that nature. Clips and bars, we're going to need you for sure. For sure, I say. It's not 100%. But the thing of my life in this room is trying to find a way to balance and shuffle and make sure I can get to all these things without knocking stuff over. That's why having the clipped things like that are fantastic. All right, so Now we've seen the 4 wide vehicle base, but we're gonna go for something different today. We're gonna go for a 6 wide, and I've already got something started. It's actually been started for quite some time. It's been busted down and restarted and redone again and again. And the basis for this is actually was the Harry Potter night bus. So one of the things you want to do once you got your basic bottom frame on there, and this is Technic bricks with some other stuff slammed in between, some inverted slopes, double inverted slopes there that are 6 wide, and so we're going to start with that. You can see here the wheel wells extend. Well, they're shallow wheel wells, so these wheels are popping out pretty far. But the fenders there are pretty nice, very solid ones, and they got that nice flaring to them. You see there. So we're gonna try and make a sports car today. Yes, yes. And these wheel hubs do come with the Speed Champions ones. Usually, when you get a Speed Champion set, you can have 2 sets or more of hubcaps. Essentially, is what they are. Hubcaps. They're not rims. They're hubcaps. The rim is already attached to the tire. And as far as automobile terminology, the tire goes on the rim. A hubcap goes over the rim. And a lot of cars these days, like the rims are one solid piece, so you don't have a hubcap that goes over the top of it. That was a big thing in the 70s. Maybe went into the 80s a little bit, but there's so many hubcaps that ended up being on the side of the road, and that was just something the automobile industry kind of graduated away from. But because Lego is Lego, hubcaps are hubcaps. So we're going to start with this, and then once you got your basic, you know what you want to do with your car, you know how wide essentially you want it to be, you kind of got a general understanding of what you want to do with the styling, right? So then you need to establish your wheelbase, and that is the distance from your front wheel to your back wheel. How many people are you going to get in the car? Is this going to be a 4-seater? If so, you need to take that into consideration. Also, you need to take into consideration your bumper, front and rear bumper area that you're going to use, your engine area, engine bay in the car, things of that nature. So we're just going to plunk in the seats right here to kind of get a feel for about where the center of the car is, right? Because one thing you want to do is take weight distribution into consideration for your vehicle. Maybe you don't want to do that, but sometimes I like to, especially if you're making a sports car, something that's going to be fast. You got to think what's the best way to make it faster, right? Because that's what car companies do. So we got that inverted slope there. We already established that we're not going to use the doors. I don't really have proper panels to fully do the like we saw earlier with the dark turquoise vehicle. So we're going to figure out a way to do that. But first, I'm going to try and block in, kind of color in, fill in a little body area here. So we got more bulk to work with, right? So I'm going to my brick bin, and this is how many bricks I have available, and this is actually a high number right now. Usually it's maybe just a handful, but we don't have a lot of color variation here. As far as black goes, I've got like 3 bricks. So I'm going to take a look here, and one of those bricks is this. So it's a 2 tall brick, a 1 by 2 by 2. All right, so kind of put that back there. Maybe this is going to be, you know what, we're gonna try and make this a rear engine vehicle, or mid engine vehicle. Okay, I'm going to be stopping here to do a lot of technical automobile talk, and one of the things I want to talk about real quick: mid-engine versus rear engine versus front engine in the car. So, especially when you're dealing with a race car, your engine can be in a couple different places. Say, like you have a Porsche or a Volkswagen, and generally that engine is going to be in the rear of the car, and those are actually rear engine vehicles because of where it sits over that rear axle. Okay, so if you're on that rear axle or a little bit back from it, that's going to be a rear engine vehicle. If you are in the back behind the seats, but you're not resting directly, like all that weight from the engine is not resting directly on that rear axle, it's going to be a mid-engine vehicle. And the weight distribution on that is a lot better but it does end up making the car squirrelier because of that's pretty much where that center of gravity is. Most cars you see, probably the car that you drive at home, unless you're a baller, and you know what, if you are, congratulations. But most of us are going to see cars that are front engine, right? And they might be a front engine car with a rear wheel drive. It might be front engine, front wheel drive, but most of them we're going to see at the front. It's easier to work on. You have a larger compartment to get into, and they're cheaper to make. So most of the cars you're going to see are going to be front engine, front wheel drive, or rear wheel drive cars. If you see a mid-engine car, that's going to be a Ferrari. That's going to be like your Lamborghini generally. You know, things of that nature. The sportier, more expensive cars. Actually, I say that, but Pontiac made the Fiero back in the 80s, which they had to do a recall on. But that was a rear engine car. Not exactly a success. Or, oh yes, and the MR2, the Toyota MR2 is a nice little number like that, and it's pretty affordable. So yeah, so that's where we're going to start today. And I've got this little snot brick there, or yeah, I say brick. It's actually technically more of a plate, because I call it a plate if it's not all the way up to like a full brick in height. I'm just weird like that. All right, so we got that. We're not going to have a lot of black bricks to work with for the body, but so we're going to put the bricks away for now, because I kind of want to go with black for the thing. That's for color reasons and colorization and all other terms I'm throwing out there that aren't exactly the one I'm looking for. You want to have kind of a homogeneity of color, right? You want unity of color. You want harmony of color. There we go, harmony. Yeah, that's closer. So I'm going to go into my slopes, and in here there's a bevy of stuff to work with. Okay, we have these little ladders here for the side that can also be used as grills. We've got, of course, your standard 2x2 45-degree slope. In the half-size version of that, we've got. Actually, we don't have a lot of great stuff to work with for building this car. I should have kind of thought about this a little bit beforehand. I've got a couple wedge bricks I'm going to be pulling out here. I've got some detail bits that we're going to use. Just kind of get these out and set aside and see what we can do. The car's not going to end up being too bulky, because, like in real life, if you want to make something fast, it can't be too heavy, right? Despite what General Motors or Dodge might think, just reduce the weight. Reduce the weight. Okay, there. Grab another one of you. There. Okay, we got something to work with here to start. And like I said, we're gonna have a rear engine vehicle, so we're going to tap into the engine bits. We've got these that I first saw around the Speed Racer time. They're on the Racer X's car. So we've got those. And we're not going to have a blower, because if the engine is going to be in the back of the car, the intake for that is probably going to be louvered into the hood or the side of the vehicle. But if you had a front engine car, you could put the blower up there for sure, because that'll feed the air directly into the engine, hence making it go faster. I've also got a Technic engine in here. Why? Just because. We got pipes in here, which we're not going to use, because, I mean, that would be something to move the exhaust to the back of the vehicle, but because the engine's going to be in the back, that's not going to be a consideration. Not going to need space engines. Okay. Yeah, I'm not even going to need this, honestly. Okay. So we'll do some other trickery in there. Right. So there. Try and get a little bit of a space to work with here. And we're not going to start building on top of the box, because when we do that, then we always need something inside the box, right? And hopefully you folks can still hear me okay. I'm just backing up a little bit here so you can see more of the workspace we're going with. So yeah, I got a lot of little detail bits here. And cracking open my plates because I'm going to see if I got any, and I don't think I do, any 1x6 plates in black. I need 2, but I don't have those at hand, so we're going to go 1x3 tiles, or 1x3 plates, sorry. And we're just going to get this up here so that our door area is going to be flush right now with the interior cabin area, right? Plus it's going to cover up those hollow studs that sometimes like freak me out. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, with the occasional Nora fur popping in there. Nora is napping in the living room today, thankfully. All right, so this kind of detail here, with that little fin flip, I've got 3 of those, so that will be a nice little indication of a spoiler at the end of the vehicle. Now, a spoiler, its purpose in the car is to keep it on the ground. It's to take that air and that's going over the car when you're driving, and to help push the car down. And that gives that keeps your rear wheels from popping up, especially if you got air going underneath the vehicle. It keeps it cemented to the ground so that you can get more traction and hence go faster, right? All right, so we got these there. I've got 2 little finny bits. I got 2 of those slopes like that. All right, so let's see. I'm going to start having to use different colored bits here because of the lack of black. And I think that's just because I have all my black bits in a little cup over there. But if I pour those out. All right, so let's see. For doors, what can we do for doors? Panels. Put that here. Got 1 1x4 and 2 1x2s in black. So we'll go with that. All right. So let's see. We'll go with more of a Roadster-esque version, and yeah, for that spoiler, there are many different ways to do a spoiler. Sometimes you can build your own spoiler to attach onto it separately, and then sometimes you can build it into the vehicle itself, which is more of a classic way to do it. Like your older muscle cars have that. Your 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO has that. I won't say any more on that car right now, because that's a whole rabbit hole I could go down and never return from. All right, so man, I don't have a lot of great color to start with this. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to embellish it somehow. Something that's going to complement that black. Use it in just the right way to where it's not going to be too in your face. See, light or dark gray and light gray would work good for that. Actually, with black, any color can set it off, but you just have to use it in moderation. Let me get some of these 1x6s out of the way. And there are the black 1x6s I was looking for earlier. Handy dandy brick separator here. Let's pop those off real quick. Okay. All right, so we're going to start that color a little bit lower here. Let's say we go with, let's go with magenta. I can tell you right now, I'm not looking to make anything brilliant, fantastic, earth-shattering with this build right here. This is just a fun little thing to do to get our eye in, as it were. All right. So we're going to use that magenta down there, kind of as an accent. Just a little stripe running there. And then I'm going to double up the black plates on top of it so that I'm flush with those bricks I put into the rear earlier. And yes, if it seems like I'm giving too much information while I'm doing this, I am known to hit you with a TMI. All right, so we got the little magenta stripe going there, and we're going to have another bit of magenta going up here a little bit further. Okay. That. And then do I have 2x2s? I got one. Or 1x2s, sorry. One. And two. And I think that might be all the magenta I have for 1x2 plates there. Okay. All right, so that's giving us a 6 long and then an 8 long plate, just a little bit above that. So we're kind of getting an idea of what this car wants to be and where it wants to go. And I've got 2 seats in there, but essentially this is going to be a 1-seater because I'm not going to have any doors on it, and I don't think I'm going to have panels to allow for the elbows. So allowing for minifigure elbows, of course, you're going to have to go like 4 modules wide for that. We're going to need a steering wheel, and we will crib it here from this. There's a little troll build for Tiny Diamond, which I thought at one point I was going to make, and then I was like, you know what, we'll wait and see. And so when you do put your steering wheel in for your minifigure, you're going to want that right up against that seat because they don't have great reach, right? And since this is going to be a single seater, we're going to get that there in the center. Okay. And let's see, I can use, let's see. Let's really see here what we got. Okay. What I'm going to do, got that open area there in the back. And when you're building on top of Technic bricks, things don't always go as smoothly as they do if you're working on like a legit car base like we saw earlier. So those ones are really well tailored to the purpose. When you're starting it off with Technic bricks, you got to make leaps, right? All right, so we got that in the back there, and that's going to be what we're going to extend our rear bumper off of, and it's also going to have our exhausts coming out. In the front, we're going to work that now a little bit too. You know what? I'll take these wheels out real quick. I'm going to slide this panel in behind that and try and work with the back seat area a little bit, which is probably not going to be a back seat. It's probably going to be more like a storage area for like a bag of groceries or whatever. Okay. All right, so we got that in there. And the seats set up a plate and then they curve up over that. So you can get a plate behind it, elevated just a little bit, and it'll still sit flush. Tile preferably, but plate if that's all you got. All right, so we got our steering wheel in, we got that in. I'm going to take another 1x4 brick. We'll go with dark tan because why not? And sometimes, if you're doing an interior on a car, leather is a cool thing, but you want to have a consistent interior color, just like your car does, right? So that's why we're going there with that. Because your floorboards are going to be one thing, your seats and your upholstery is going to be another. Okay. There. And let's see. And the engine compartment is going to be back here. Let's see. We'll throw that there because we've only got one of those, so I wanted that to be semi-symmetric. The same for this bit. And these other ones I've all got paired. Okay, now front. And this snot brick being that far up is really throwing me off. So I'm going to pull that out. And we'll figure out a different way to do that because that extension, like I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to compensate for the extra brick worth of area that's there, which you can't really do. So we're going to go for standard 1x2 snot brick with the I'll put the studs there. Studs only on one side. Going to, I've got a ton of 1x2 black plates, but they're all in other builds. So so these are very tough to come by right now in this environment. All right, so we got that, we got that. And you know, when you're building something and you're making a mock, it's just like with all art. Painting teacher told me this a long time ago. Art is 90% looking, right? And it's looking at your subject, and that's also looking at your work. Like you want to step back from it, take it all in, the whole thing, and then just kind of work it in slowly. Try and build the thing as a whole. Because if you're making a painting, you don't want to start like with the nose, with the face, and then just forget the rest of the thing. You want to kind of outline everything, get it all kind of moving in the same direction so that, you know, pieces can complement each other and the whole thing will, you know, have kind of a homogeny to it. Actually, the 90% looking thing I heard from also from a Chinese ink brush artist. And that dude was like, when I'm working on something, I don't even look at a subject. I just paint it because I've spent so much time beforehand studying the subject that I know exactly what it is and I can picture it in my head. However, this car, we have no clue what it is. So we're just kind of jumping in there and just tweaking and modulating, and hopefully in 45 minutes we can come up with something that looks halfway like a road going vehicle. All right, so I've got these spaces here. I could probably throw some 1x1 plates in, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because 1x1 plates are behind. Right. So I need to bulk this up a little bit, but I've also got to find larger plates to function for the front and the back. It's kind of a starting spot. So we're gonna throw a 2x4 plate, front and back. And this one I'm putting on the back is actually a Technic plate, but I think it's going to be covered up enough to where that's not really going to worry us too much. All right, now that we got that on there, I can kind of see the direction that this vehicle wants to go just a little bit. So I'm going to bust back into my slopes. See, just an easy shuffle, and then boom, I'm into all my slopes right here. I used a fair number of the black ones and other things recently. What I want right now, what I did want were 1x2 curve slopes like that. And what the heck was I building that I used all those on? I'm not too sure, but I've got some slope. I'm tearing apart some troll stuff just because. Troll sets are great for parts. Beautiful parts, lovely parts, useful parts, fantastic parts. All right, so we put those over that rear bumper, and because we got a 6-wide vehicle, from that plate, you know, those curves are going to extend 2 more studs over, so we got the whole 6-wide going there. So what I've got now, you can kind of see it there. Black is tough to see. You have to catch it right with the light because you can only really see it with the reflection. But you see there, we got that curved rear end there to it. Okay, I'm going to put a 2x2 plate, hopefully in black, hopefully. Yes. All right. Okay, that's on that there, and from that we can work with that a little bit. Now, sometimes, especially in older cars, you want to have a visible bumper, right? Because most of the stuff made like from from mid 80s back before it had like a solid bumper. It's part of a safety regulation thing. But most of the cars you see nowadays, you don't really see the bumper so much because it's molded into the vehicle with a lot of plastic fiberglass on top of it. But it's still there because it's regulated to be there. All right, so let's see. We're going to want a license plate on there and some rear exhaust. Rear exhaust, we are going to use some Technic bands. Okay, and this is a very simple exhaust trick. Get you a couple pipes popping out the back. we're going to use these little bits here, and I just want to make sure I got a matching pair. Okay, no, I got 3 out. None of them match yet, so hold on. Come on, man. Work with me, fingers. Okay, so it looks like we're going more of a gunmetal grade with that. I'll show you what we got there. So we've got that pin bushing, right? And we're just going to pop that over stud. And now we have a dual exhaust. Yeah, easy, simple, right? And it's already starting to look like a car. I want to see if I have a printed tile that we can use as a license plate. And my 1x2s, this, that, sticker. Huh. Okay. So we do have an actual license plate, but it's not for this vehicle. You're gonna know what it is right away. All right, there we go. Right? Okay. So obviously this thing conforms to California emissions right off. So we got that going for us, which is nice. And what I'm gonna have to do here is go to the front, and then we'll get the front in, we got the back in, and then we're just going to try and blend everything together. It's probably not going to have a roof because we're going to go for more, 88 miles per hour spot, 88 miles per hour. That's how we get there. All right. Let's see, these are 4, and that's that. So once you get your rear bumper, your front bumper, the rest of it will kind of come together. Like I said, no roof. We are going to try and have a hood, if we can, and a trunk looking area, which is actually going to be where the engine is housed. And with that, I mean, the British folk call it the boot. The boot is actually, when you have a rear engine vehicle, it's in the front of the car. And that's usually where you're going to get your spare tire, luggage and stuff, things of that nature. Let's see here. I'm just going to put this brick in here and take it out again, just because I know it's an exercise in futility with that. All right, so I'm going to see what I got for wedge plates. Wedge plates, wedge plates, wedge plates. Oh, please let me have a pair. No. That's the way it is with wedge plates. You never have them when you need them, but when you don't need them, they're everywhere, and then you can't get rid of them. Preposterous, I say. All right, there. Let's just take a look through my builds, half builds box. See if I got anything there. No. I'm going to end up using more pieces from this Trolls build as well. All right, so I don't have that. And I'm going to have to figure out a way to crib this. Do I have any more magenta plates other than the 1x6? Check that. Nope. All signs point to Okay. Oh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be a little bit tougher. All right. So that. There's another box I can bust out here too. And this is like general tiles and sundry. So I'm going to get this 4x6 out here. I've also got grills that we're probably going to need. I've got angled plate or angled tiles. I've got cheese slopes, transparent slopes, round tiles, and dishes in here. So between all this, something's going to have to work, right? So throw a couple black tiles out there. There. Come on, one more 1x3. I know you're here. There. And I'll take one of those, 2 of those, a couple of these for now. And then this is actually one of my most frequently accessed bins. Give you a little close up there. So yeah, that was under this table at one point, and then I got another like thing where I could stack 4 of them, and I'm like, why not just put them over there with that? Maybe not the greatest decision I've ever made, but we're gonna go with it. All right, so I am down to one of those, which is not gonna work. Tiles there, not great. I'm actually gonna go a little bit. What we're going to do is going to go a little bit wider here with the bumper in the front. Let's see. Especially because if you're in a head-on collision, it's you know, it's implied by the name that you're going to hit something from the front. So you want to have more of a safety thing going on there. Sure, that's what I'm going to go with. And that's going to be my excuse. Okay. Whereas in actuality, when I'm looking at this, it looks like, you know, I need to just reverse the whole thing or make these wider in the back. Now, let's see what else I can do. Yeah, it's not going to be good. So use back there. Okay. Get more black bits off of this. This has got 1x3 bricks, which are great, but we're not going to be able to really use them here in this build because that's going to make the vehicle a little bit taller than what we want. Got a hidden side bench. This got a 2x2 plate there. We're going to take. I'm just going to pop that in there. Stack it again. That brings us up to the level of the wheel wells there, so we can start building something semi-substantial. Okay. I could really use a very specific part. So what we got here is a 1x2 plate with a rail on it. And I'm going to use that here up front. There. It's a nice little detail piece. And I'm just going to build the front of this over top of that just to see how it looks. I don't know. What do you think? two soapbox derby racer? Yeah. That's the feel I'm getting from that. Okay. So strike it. You know, the great thing about Lego is it's never too late to try something else, or if something doesn't look right, go in a different direction. And in a rare thing, we're actually going to be using headlight bricks as headlights. How about that? It just struck me. I'm like, what if we use a headlight brick as a headlight? Nobody's ever done that. These are actually, what do they call them? Erling bricks. Because and the designers usually call it that because that's the person who created the brick, and it's it's a well-respected brick. All right, so we're going to try this bit here for fender flaring around the front. Just see how that looks. It's got a little bit of a bulk to it. Yeah, you see the headlight bricks. They got a little bit of a recess to them. There's a whole lot of strange math that goes into the headlight bricks. It's like start using headlight bricks for builds. It's like you're doing Lego calculus all of a sudden, trying to figure out, you know, little bits and whatnots and how that's going to fit somewhere and go there. You know. So what else can we do here? We can I'm still trying to figure out the front end. And generally, that's where the car's personality is going to be, because that's the first thing you're going to see. That's what you're going to see in your rear view mirror when a car's coming up behind you, right? You're going to see that smiling grill coming at you. Using them as car doors, yeah. I've used them as any and everything almost, except for headlight bricks. In recent years here, I got to the point where I call them headlight bricks, but I never think of them as a headlight fixture. All right, so what I'm going to need to do is figure out a way to go under here and bridge that distance underneath the headlight brick, and also a way to make this work with the plates. Now, see, if I bump this plate up one more here on top, it's going to be flush with that recessed part of the headlight brick. That's the way the math works. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that right now. And I'm just going to throw this on the back here just so it looks like, you know, something's covering something. Not the final draft at all, to be sure. And then do I have another one of those? Back into this one. And you can see with the way I got the setup here with all these bins, it's really quick to go from one to one. You don't have to step away from something, go back and grab this and that, and possibly take yourself out of the build. I've done that, going to search for a part, come back, and I'm like, what the heck was I building with this in the first place? It happens. All right, so trying to get that magenta into there a little bit. It's probably not going to look as great as I thought it would initially once we get this further down the road here. No pun intended. But there it is. Okay. Let's see. We can do okay. Now we got a little bit of an idea for something. We got the 4x4 tile plate hybrid here, and I'm going to try and figure out a way to slope that just a hair. Man. Let's see. Plates, more plates. And especially when you're doing the interior of a vehicle or something like that, you don't have to stick to your color scheme necessarily, especially if it's going to be something that's hidden. But for some reason, my mind just won't go beyond that. So I'm trying to use all the black plates I can on this. All right, so I got the black L plate, and that's a 2x2, L plate, right, like that. Okay. All right, and that's just going to make that area flush there in the back so that I can start bulking up the rear of the car a little bit. And like I said before, this is going to be a rear engine vehicle, so I do want to make a bit of an accommodation there for air intakes. Best laid plans, right? Oh, I wasn't even thinking magenta bricks. I got one magenta 1x1. I got two magenta 1x1. Okay, so it's going to go in there. That's going to make that a little bit more stable. Next to that, the air intakes, I want to be running back to the engine. So I'm going to angle this brick in like so. Okay. And do I still have? Yes, I do. I've got another 1x3 here. All right, that's great. So that's going to stack there. That's going to stack there. And like I say, when I do these builds, when I do cars and things like that, there's a whole lot of refinement that goes into it. Like I'll get something set, and I'll keep switching parts, color swapping, changing slopes, changing angles, doing things like that. Like I get to the finish point probably in a couple of hours, but then after that, I might spend 2 or 3 days just trying to fine tune, a build. I'm sure there's no complex that's associated with that sort of behavior. No, not at all. No, it's 100% totally normal. Everybody does that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Slam that there. We're gonna get this over here. Okay, so we got a little bit of a something bulking up, something coming together, right? We're looking a little hot roddy. Ideally, I'd like to have these rear wheels set just a hair forward from where they are, just for balance issues and whatnot. But that's something, I can go back in and tweak later, or maybe not, because it's gonna, throw my whole plate thing off. Yeah, artist work is never done. Artist work is never done. It's very true. Very true, Brick Nista. I've actually had paintings in people's house, and I go over to visit them, and I'm just like, man, if I had a brush on me right now, I tell you what, that's another rabbit hole that I just won't go down. Okay. Right. I need some kind of slope here for the center. And ideally, 1x4, or I mean 2x4 slope would be it. I don't have any 2x4 slopes in black. I got them in tan. No real magenta action in here to speak of, except for some 1x2s. So you know what? I'm gonna try something a little bit different, a little bit weird. Okay, I brought these out earlier to talk about them, but I'm going to bring another one out right now. That little ladder bit. Yeah, the 2x4 slope and magenta would be hard to find. But I was looking for one in black, so you'd think I'd have one falling out of the sky. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to end up turning this into a slope. So I'm going to get a hinge and kind of put that at an angle there. And it'll give the engine somewhere else to breathe, All right. And are we going to go classic hinge? Are we going to go classic hinge? Because where did I put my classic hinges? There they are. Perfect. Remember how I was talking earlier about pulling out little dividers totally by accident? Well, I'll just set that in there to fix later. Okay. All right, hijinks and shenanigans aside, here we go. Get the plates back on top because we're going to need them. Yeah, oops indeed. Oops ahoy. All right, so this is going to have to angle back this way. But I don't think that's going to work with that hinge there, so let's check this out. All right, I don't really know what I was thinking with this bit. Yes. So, all right, now here's the problem. How are we going to turn this into something that we can use like that? I know how. We're going to need another plate. We're going to need another plate. Okay. All right, so we're going to bump that out with a 2x2 and see if we can make this work. Yeah, see, it sits too high and doesn't sit flat enough. Yeah, that was an idea. It's probably not going to work though. But you know what? I was forgetting this whole time, and just axe that whole thing all together. I was forgetting about the spoilers. Spoiler alert. Spoilers on the way. All right, I'm gonna find another. right, so I'm going to fill in this little gap here just to make it a little bit, easier to work with. Sometimes you can leave a lot of good hollow space in a build, which will, of course, make it more lightweight. But in this case, in this instance, well, the way I need to get these up here, it's not going to so much. All right, so here we go. And then we have our built-in spoilers attached, which doesn't look as great as I thought it was going to at first. But let's just roll with it and see where we go, right? Okay. And got 2 more 1x6 black plates that I found. Yay. All right, so the rear deck is now even across the back there. Yeah, that license plate is choice. It's so choice. If you don't know where that license plate came from, of course it came from the Back to the Future Ideas set that came out many years ago. It was one of the cheaper Ideas sets because I think it was maybe 35 or 40 bucks when it hit. It's the DeLorean, Doc, and Marty. It's got a purple skateboard in there. It doesn't have the hoverboard. It's got enough parts to where you can switch between 3 different versions of the DeLorean for all 3 movies. I've got it set up right now with the Mr. Fusion stuff. All right, so that's there. That rear deck is set. This is not going to be the most aerodynamic thing in the world, unfortunately. I do apologize for that, and to anybody who might be driving it, thinking, hey, I got a sweet ride. I mean, maybe we dropped the ball at the factory. Okay. There, that. And then this is actually could be used there. I could switch it over to that. I wish I had some more legit plates, but not so much. All right. So I just kind of slam that in there on top. And then I'm going to take these compound slopes here and see if I can make any sensible. Okay. So just keeping you updated as I go along so you can see, like, the whole creative mental mishigas that's going down. All right. Okay. Headlight bricks off. Headlight bricks are off. And they're probably going to be going back on, so don't worry. But I just wanted to see what that looked like using those as curves on the front. Well, I wouldn't give to have another one of these handy. Well, it's more of what will I sacrifice to have another one of these handy, right? Some snow action over there. Is that garage? All right. I'm sliding off screen, and I'm going to go see what I've got in this container over here. Okay. So yeah, this entire pick brick cup is all black bits of different shapes, size, variety, things. I do have a fair number of slopes in here. But when I do that with a pick and brick cup, you need somewhere to dump it. So it just so happens oh, wait a minute. Wait just a second. Hold the presses. Alert the authorities. Tell your mom you're going to be late for dinner. I think I might have figured something out. Okay, there, that. And of course, remember Spot? I was talking about it earlier. The 2x4 black slope. Mic drop. Mic drop to. Okay, anyway, here we go. That's not stable down there. Switch. All right, so, all right, we're going to take the spoiler off again. Oh, me oh my. Okay. All right. And so backtracking is a thing. And get used to it, especially if you're going to be making MOCs. Boom. Those compound curves at. There they go. All right, this is total game changer. I'm probably going to be able to get this done in 20 minutes now. All because I said, I was about to quote Pulp Fiction, but I'm not going to do that. Ving Rhames. All right, so now we've got that for the mirror. That's kind of okay. I mean, it's still a little bit boxy up high. I'd like to extend this, up more. And that could be something I do later if I find more parts, or if I still want to keep going with this, I might just break this down and start over again. But we're just throwing things together live to see what happens, right? What shakes out. And then I find 2 hinge plates. Good show. Okay, so all right, we'll try this up front. See how that looks. Not great, but again, not great. And if only I had just more of these. We're gonna put them up here right now. And it looks like I'm not going to be able to get a windshield in here today, which kind of sucks a little bit. But I mean, if you're a race car driver, sometimes you don't have a windshield. You just gotta, hope your helmet keeps everything off you. Yeah, totally found it. Totally found it. I knew it was there. Yeah, there is Bricklink, but especially if I know the bits around here, sometimes I get a little obsessed about such things. Like, I gotta find it. Okay. What am I working with? What do we got? Make a build. Watch yourself. Build it up. Show me what you're working with. Okay. After this. So I just had those pieces. Where did y'all go? Where did you go? My pieces. I want to know. Where did you go? Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Alrighty. We'll try this. We'll try this way. We'll see what we can get out of that. Probably not much. A Penelope pit stop vibe. Let's see. I don't know. That's definitely more aggressive front, right? I mean, we don't even actually scrap that because we don't even have clearance. Like, it's almost like a cow catcher. It's right on the bottom there. Invert it. Raise it up. Something. Let's see what we got. All right. So now apparently I've made Mustache Sally's ride, and they couldn't be happier. I mean, look at that. Look at that front there. That just screams mustache. And really, you don't want anything to scream mustache. Mustache should be as understated as it can be, because I mean, they're there. They're obvious. They're where they're at. Oh God. All right. This is just not. It ain't gelling. It's not exactly gelling here. Not that I'm a perfectionist, but it's just if you know something just doesn't look right, just keep working with it, keep tweaking it, right? Especially with Lego, you will find a way. Mustache Sally approves. Awesome. I'm so glad they're happy with it. And if you don't know Mustache Sally, check out Brickanista streams on Twitch and YouTube. Mustache Sally is a build that she made for the Tricky Bricks Rebuild Challenge for the Mandalorian and Child. This is Mustache Sally in bits. But yeah, Mustache Sally is just a great character. It's Mustache Sally is a hexadecimal robot, so it's non-binary. Just brilliant, right? Okay. And again, I built myself into a spot where it'd be great to have another one of those 2x2 curves, but alas, nay. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm just relying too much on certain bits here, and I need to trust the brick. Go with the clutch. Let the clutch move through me. Okay. Honestly, this car is starting to look like I picked the wrong week to. Never mind. But yeah, that's something. It's starting to present itself a little bit. Well, let's go there. Just swing this bridge. Stopgap. Hashtag it's dope, yo. It is. It's getting to the dope, yo. We're almost dope. All right. I mean, it's a fun little pattern thing that's going on in the back there, but I mean, it's just not very practical. All right, let's try this. Let us try this. I keep glancing up at the clock to see where we're at on this. Will be dope, yo. Eventually. All right, this is a very strange vehicle. I'll give it that. It's weird. It's weird. We're gonna go with it. We're just gonna proceed weirdly. There again, I could use a 1x6 slope with curve, but I know I ain't gonna find it. That is a piece I know I don't have, or at least accessible. That's not in like a set that I don't want to break down. Okay. So essentially what I wanted is like a longer version of something like that. No. Criminy. Okay. All right. We'll do this. This is going to kind of work. So I've got like a 2-plate high, shallow slope. Then we got there in the front, and then I've reattached the headlight bricks directly to the plates that are coming off that grill, or the front bumper end. Which, I mean, it allows this place to put ambers, some turning signals, turn indicators. Also, it's not gonna work. It's yellow. It's got to be amber. Still down there? Yes, you are. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna take some square bits, throw them on there. You know what's crazy is Bob Ross had like a half hour to make his paintings. I got 2 hours to make a car, and I'm not getting very far very fast. And then those turning indicators are a little bit far forward. Okay. All right, so just to kind of fill in the recessed part on the headlight brick, got that. But then I've got the spots underneath that, and I'm actually going to go with 1x1 round bricks here. So I should have 2 of them available. I just broke down something with it last night. Okay, and that's going to bump that forward. All right. So then we're starting to take take a little form there on the front. And then the question is, how do we go on from there? And I got these tiles out. I just want to see if it'll look good, and I know it won't, but I could be wrong. Because I like to have a more stable connection generally than what this is going to yield. Let's see. You see what I got there? Let's see. Get that light to catch it. You know, those angled plates. It kind of look like it has kind of an underscoop to it. Something like that. I want to have like an air dam coming out front, but we're making stuff on the fly. No offense to Jeff Goldblum. Slopes. We're gonna have like a sloped headlight here. What do you think, clear or yellow for the headlights? I'm gonna try clear, just to see what we got. Hey, Melissa, how's it going? Thanks for joining. We got probably 10-ish minutes left. Trying to get a car thrown together here on the stream because it's car day here at the Don Brickles Productions. Okay, so that's looking a little bit more normal-esque, I guess. I don't know. We're getting somewhere. I don't know where we're getting, but we're getting somewhere. All right, so that does actually provide us with an area to put a windscreen. Now that I changed that around, however, windscreens are at a premium right now in town. I'm just going to use this real quick to keep this thing from tipping too far there. So a 1x4 or not a 1x4, but a 4 wide or a 6 wide windscreen would be really key right now. And I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't think I have that in any color available. Let's see. Do I have? Yes, 2. Can I get one more of these? I cannot. Shucks howdy. Oh, wait. I might have. Oh, thank you. Tough as hell. Yeah, translucent smoky black. As soon as you said that, I pulled this one out here. So we got that 6 wide. Starting to get lightly excited. Don't want to get too jazzed because I don't want to go over to the dark side. I just want to go over to the smoky black translucent side. Okay. Keep that up top. Probably going to need that in a hot second to attach this mug. But yeah, so what we're going to have here, can we do this in 5 minutes, right? And this is pretty much what we're down to. If we can get this on top. Actually, with that, now I want to make a Ferrari Daytona. So maybe this will become a black Ferrari Daytona. And y'all can say, hey, I saw when you started making that. It didn't look anything like that at the beginning. That would be awesome. So yeah, we're going to try and see if we can get that in there. I still got my hinge bricks out. Probably not going to work right with that. And then actually, because of that, I'm going to have to move this because as you can see with the hinge plates, it does have that protrusion of a half curve there. Short fences for windows. I was checking my short fences actually just a hot second ago, and nothing really stood. Like they're all like glaringly like white or something like that. Okay, so we're gonna get a 1x4 plate there, and then we can make this proper, and then it's gonna sit back there and behave, and then I can figure out a way to get clip and bar. When in doubt, bust out your bars and your clips. Oh, thanks, Brickanisa. Thanks for sticking by. Yes, hopefully the clutch will be here for these last couple minutes. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I got this, and I got this, and so I'm going to need a bit of clips. I don't really even know if this is going to work, just with the way the clip is going to attach to that, and then the plate that's going to be underneath it. But let's see what kind of results we can yield here. Okay, we're just going to find out. All right. So yes, and thank you so much for the present. Oh, that was so cool. Thank you. Okay, you know what? This might be something. I don't know if it's good something, but it might be something. Here, let's see. Hey, Alexander, how's it going, yo? Okay, that's way too high up, coming off the hood there, and I mean the angle's good, the angle's right, but it's got to sit down because aerodynamics. You want it to be smooth when it comes over, and that's just going to be a big windbreak. Shucks howdy. All right. If anybody sees any way that I might be able to do this just right, just hit me up. Oh, well, I could always do that and just kind of rest it there. But it almost seems like if I don't get it at the right angle, that windscreen is going to be too long. So if I had it a little bit shorter, it would work. Fudge. Double fudge. Double fudge with sprinkles. Yeah. Okay. So in lieu of a windscreen, we're going to throw on some side view mirrors, give the driver a helmet. Oh, yes. Getting your inventory all straightened up, it's a heck of a chore, but once you get everything sorted, it's like space opens up in your mind and in your building area. Yeah, so I'm gonna use that. We'll see if in the next 2.5, 3 minutes I can figure out a good solution for the other thing. But yeah, this is just throwing together a car and kind of getting an idea of how to mock up a car. Hopefully, if you do this at home, you've got a better, more appropriate parts to choose from. But I've built many a car over the years, and all my good car parts are already in use, of course. But that being said, let's see if I can steal a windshield from somebody, because this she ain't cutting it. Well, what do you know? Would that look right? Sorry, car. Take that. That's not going to have what I need. Is this going to have what I need? Is that going to work? This might work. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm going to be rebuilding what I'm taking apart right now. But for the sake of this car, for this build, for this stream, for this time we are together now, I'm going to go with that. Okay, it's 4 wide, 3 long, just low angled windshield, and that kind of works pretty good. So yeah, there's that. I do want to have more of a solid bumper area under here, so there are some things I can go back through and do for that. But we're about at time, because I don't want to go too long with this and discourage anybody from ever watching it again. I don't want to do that. I mean, it's all about sharing the knowledge and the ideas and the whatnot, and the wherefore and the whoozy. And I was just about to grab something, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yes, a driver. Who are we going to put in the seat? Who is available? Who is handy? Who has a helmet? Okay. We're taking Speed Racer. Oh, thanks, Spot. I had you at Galactus. Oh, Galactus loves you back. Be careful, because Galactus expresses love sometimes in the form of a dining experience. All right, so yeah, there we go. I mean, he's sitting a little bit high there. I would like to have that that windscreen, maybe 2 more plates high, but this car is kind of big and thick as it is. But yeah, we got something in today. I mean, not the greatest treatment here in the back. I'd want to get more of a slope going over there, and of course the bumper here in the front. A different treatment here for the back, different thing for the windscreen. But I mean, we've mocked the car essentially from almost jump, right? We just had the basic frame, the basic chassis to kind of work with from. Then your drivetrain there, and we said we were going to go with more of a rear wheel, a rear engined, mid engined look or feel for the car. Not the worst. Not the worst. I've made much more horrible builds than this, but there's that. Okay, well, I'm going to start getting things reorganized and put back together and fixed, and I'm still convinced that I can do something good with this chassis, so I'm going to keep working with it. Maybe scoot the rear wheels forward a little bit, because you only see those really way back like that in a hot rod. But what we're going to want, and you see that in a hot rod that has a front engine, but we got to find a balance with this car. It might take a while. This is kind of my on again, off again project. But I want to thank everybody for stopping in. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brickanista, for the lovely gift. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Spot. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Melissa. And everybody who's been in here. If I don't remember who was in here earlier, I am so sorry. Tim, if you're still in here, tell Maddie I said hi. Tell Jesse I said what's up. I miss that dude, that crazy little guy. Galactus is over here. He just wants to say hi to everybody before we go. And then we see the King here as well, just hanging out, chilling. The dynamic between those two is like The Odd Couple. If you haven't seen The Odd Couple, check it out. Great movie. All right, so thank you everybody for stopping by. We're going to conclude this stream for today. Thank you for tuning in today, and I'm sorry about missing yesterday. Sometimes life happens and you got to jump at the chance, and there was no way I was going to be able to stream and then get to where I had to be for that appointment in time. So I do apologize for that, and thank you all so much for sticking by. Also, we have Brickanista and I have just a couple things to mention here real quick before we go. Brickanista and I have this new Rebrick This challenge coming up for this month. It's going to be set 31111. The Cyber Drone, which is a $10 set. Like she said, Target's got it right now for $7.99. Go ahead and jump on that if you can. And next week, what am I going to talk about? Probably buildings. We have to make a tuning garage. Well, I've got the tuning garage, but I need to incorporate into the city. And as you can see here at the bottom of this white building, is a 64 wide building. Is the it's a little Ferrari garage. So what I want to do is make that Ferrari garage 2 layers, opening up another section in the side, and that way I can get a garage, like an actual physical garage, in next to it, because I don't have the corner garage. I'm never going to be able to have the corner garage in my city. The only modular we have right now, of course, is the diner. And then we're probably going to get the bookstore, and then after that, I'm not going to really have any space for it anymore. So I've got to work with what I got to try to get to where we want to be, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, so next week we're gonna work on the tuning garage, trying to get it at 32 by 32, like your basic modular. Open it up a little bit, make it so I can get like a longer vehicle in there, wider vehicles. Does come with a lot of great accessories. Treads tuning from the set from last year. It was a $100 set that I got on clearance for $50, and like I'd always wanted it, but I was like, that's too many cars. I've already got too many cars as it is. And then saw it on clearance. I was like, you got to do it. All right, so that's what we're gonna do next week. We're gonna make a building. And then after that, I would also like to take some time to talk about Lego architecture sets, because that's one of my favorite themes ever. And one of my favorite things is like buildings, going and checking out buildings. Never was much of a construction person myself. My father did work in the building trades, and I've been in a couple buildings. But something that I can really only do in Lego, because that's the medium that's available to me. But thank you again, everybody, for stopping by. I'm going to go ahead and stop rambling now. Thank you so much for bearing with my craziness, and I will see you next week, Monday, for certain. Like the stream if you like the stream. If you don't like the stream, let me know what I can improve. Always trying to fix things, always trying to make those incremental improvements, even though they might be imperceptible. Still trying to striving to be better. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. Enjoy your Tuesday. Get your shot if you haven't got your shot. It's not as bad as as some people are making it out to be. And also, there's no nanotech involved in there. I mean, that's comic book jive. I'm not going to go off on that tangent, because then I'll just, yeah. So anyway, yes, Tim, take her easy. Tell Maddie and Jesse I said hi, and Alice and them. And I will see you all next week, Monday. Thanks so much. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Farewell. And all the other universal greetings that are out there. Ba weep grana weep nitty. If you know where that's from, you're doing pretty good. Bye now.